Welcome everybody to another brand review. Today we have Robinson Capital Corp. So Robinson Capital is a executive coach and management consultant out of New York. Let's get started with some general notes. Where we need to start is always with the end in mind. The whole point to the brand is to win the trust of those who need you, namely executives who desire to build on their careers, become a better leader, balance professional and personal life, etc. For our message, we need to concentrate on the point of working with you into succinct and powerful statements such as your exceptional leadership runway, to stick with your flight analogy. You may also try going from winging it to soaring. We need to appeal to the felt needs of your ideal clients, such as to lower stress on staff, excel team performance, smooth organizational operation, manage personal issues of team members, etc. Now, for some graphical notes. Colors are pretty good here, but the blue in the header may be better replaced by white to allow the blue in the page content to stand out more. We also need a little bit more eye candy, so graphical decor, some pops of color, as opposed to whole swaths of color. We have a lot of rectangles in the page here, and that monotony can be broken up and interest reintroduced to the reader by doing things like tilted separations. Another note on the hover effects, we can see we've got this red text color. We'll want to change this red to a different white, or maybe an underline, a different hover effect that would allow for better readability when hovering over. And the same thing with here. We've got this red background, and it transitions through a not very readable state. Moving over to the mobile view, we have this button here for search, and it's very prominent. It would be much better put into the menu. I would also remove the text from the menu, take the icon and put it in place of the search icon so that you have one main row. You can turn that into a sticky header and it can stay with the user as he scrolls. I would then add back into the mobile header the contact call to action button at the top. Let's continue with the header navigation bar. Again, the search icon is very prominent. I would subdue it a bit. I would make this, instead of a red background button, will instead reserve that red for calls to action. And that way, when somebody is skimming a page, when they see red, that means that that particular item in the UI is important for them to keep in mind, because that's an action they can take. Also, I would probably remove the FAQs from the main header and put it underneath the About Me or inside the page itself, so as to reserve a little bit more real estate on this header row. Now for the hero section, it's got a good image, actually. It evokes adventure, experimenting, exploration, very good connotations for the header area. It perfectly supports the flight analogy, being it, I believe, the Wright brothers or something of that sort. The section needs a real hook, so take flight. It sounds good, but it doesn't tell us exactly what's going on. What does take flight mean? So a couple suggestions I have are to switch this up and instead say your exceptional leadership runway, to stick with your flight analogy, and then you can say go from winging it to soaring, and that will kind of imply your leadership style can develop and become something not that you kind of fall into, but you actually develop on purpose, etc. Whatever language best implies the kinds of change that they'll see and the benefit that change will bring them. Finally, we'll need a call to action in the hero section here, like a book a call button or a lead magnet downloadable. It could be a new row that's underneath the actual hero section if it's a lead magnet, so that somebody who's landed on the page knows exactly what sorts of things they can do on the page. Let's move on to your intro section. So one thing that I notice is that we need content about the challenge of leadership. Not only the goals of it, we have some good verbiage on what leadership is and does, but we're not told what prevents somebody from reaching the goals that leadership implies. By first sharing the challenges that a leader may face, you're able to then frame yourself as his guide to overcoming those challenges and then achieve his goals, the challenges being the thing that's in the way of his goals. Let's scroll down just a little bit more. We'll want a social proof section here. Lastly, let's take a quick look at the footer. Now on mobile, I would definitely center your logo and make it a little bigger. Same with on the desktop version. I would center it vertically and then bring it off of the left-hand side just a little bit, or make it a little larger to give it a little bit more pop off the page. And with that, thank you for your attention, and I hope that you found something useful out of this. Leave a comment below about what you found most useful. Please subscribe, ring that bell icon, and if you're interested, I would love to review your brand as well.